Hey, welcome back to My Time to Fly. Today is Friday the 24th. Just got out of work, went home, had a little quick dinner with the family, and decided to go get the plane in the air. It's been a couple weeks since I've been able to fly with crummy weather, so I figured let's do a little bit of pattern work, knock the rust off, and try a few new cameras that a friend of mine was nice enough to loan. So I'm gonna get this thing started. We're gonna go down to the end of the runway and do 3 trips around the pattern. You know, I like to fly once a week. That's not always possible, but let me know how often you like to fly. If you feel comfortable flying once a month, that's awesome. If you need a little bit more often, let me know. Put that down in the comments below. I'd like to see what everybody's opinion is. And if you get a chance, click that subscribe button. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and every time I get a subscriber, it gives me just that little bit more motivation to get out here and make some more. So like I said, I'm gonna get this thing started. We'll get down to the end of the runway and have a little fun in the pattern today. Trying a few new camera angles today. I got one on the tail, but I'll be honest, I have no concerns about it coming off the tail, but the mount feels like it's got a little bit of a pivot to it, so hopefully it stays pointing forward. We'll get some good gear swing shots. Make sure everything's free and correct. Plane is scheduled to go into annual in a couple weeks, so now's a really good time to make sure that we feel comfortable with everything, and if we have any squawks, make sure that we get that taken care of. Oil pressure's really good. Oil temperature's starting to come up. It's not too cold out, 57 today. Get up to 1200 RPM. Still have a generator in this plane, so it takes a little bit of RPMs to get that to work. Cylinder head temps are good.
Spark up. Romeo's clear for 97. Spark.
We're gonna set to 2 pumps for takeoff. Just me and the plane today. It won't take much to get us off the ground. All right, we'll run out to 1700. Good mag drops. Carb heat's working. Carb heat works really good in these Moonies. It turns into not an all or nothing switch. You just pull it out a little bit. Check the prop. We're going to check for a manifold pressure rise on this second of 3 cycles. And then we're going to look for an oil pressure drop on the 3rd. There's a good drop. And I always like to do a full idle check, carb heat out, landing check. Make sure that it's going to stay alive when we're on final. Looks good. Go back to 1000 RPMs. All right, we're gonna get some nav lights on, landing lights on, fuel pumps on. Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniforms, departing 7 Sparta. Mixture's rich, props full in, We'll have somebody behind us in the pattern. I think that'll just be me and him for the time being. Final is clear. Two pumps of flaps in, we tend to start rotating right around 60 miles an hour, especially when we're light like this with just me in the plane. There's 60 already. And the gear's up. We're gonna climb out about 100. $105. Getting about 900 feet a minute. Again, we're pretty light. Tanks are pretty full. Climbing out 105 miles an hour.
Allegan traffic, Gate 2 Golf is entering a left downwind for runway 29er Allegan.
There's 500 feet, so we'll get the flaps out of it. I'll leave my fuel pump on since I'm going to stay in the pattern today. Climb out 110 now.
Fire traffic, Cherokee 676, Foxtrot Lima, departing runway 07, heading to the north. Fire traffic.
Square traffic, Mooney 670 uniform, left crosswind 07. I'll be remaining in the pattern. So we're almost 1,000 feet, 1,800 foot pattern. We start to get this slowed down right now. Pull it back to about 18 inches. If we don't, we'll be screaming around here.
Helmet traffic, that's the 6211 Delta, turning base for run 9er. It'll be a full stop. Helmet traffic.
And Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniforms, downwind 07, Sparta. We're gonna pull it back to about 16 inches.
Big Rapids traffic, Cessna 18140, left downwind runway 27, Big Rapids.
That keeps us under our gear speed of 120.
And Big Rapids traffic, Cessna 3622 here is 5 northeast of the field, going to enter a long final for runway 27, Big Rapids.
There's midfield, so we'll get this gear down.
Allegan traffic, traffic Gate 2 Golf.
Gears down and locked. And just about the end of the runway, we're going to pull it back to about 12 inches. Just hold it off for a minute until we can get below 100 and get our first couple pumps in. Then we can get her over. About 45 degrees from the runway, we get a third pump in. I like to keep the patterns kind of tight. Those big long patterns, they put you in a little bit of danger, in my opinion. So we're shooting for 90 on base. Sparta traffic, Mooney 670 uniform space 7 Sparta. And Sparta traffic, 2670, uniforms final 7 Sparta. Touch and go. Oh, made that a little wide. And we're a tick fast. You know, landing's really just a game of corrections.
Rapids traffic, Cessna 3622 Sierra, turning 5 mile final, runway 27, Big Rapids.
Runway's made, now we're just gonna hold it up. Got a little bit of a descending runway here. Whoa. I'm actually not going to touch and go here. All right, we're going to do that again. We're going to taxi back to the end of the runway and do that again. I certainly made some mistakes that time. I could feel the rust. It's okay to admit that you made mistakes. You just got to work on correcting them. You know, I do a real confident gear down check on downwind. And in my head, I thought about it again, but I didn't actually reach for it and grab it. Probably the most important thing when you're landing retractable, you know, complex plane, get that gear down. It was down, but again, got to be careful.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 80841 is about 7 miles northeast of the airport, inbound for runway 7, Sparta.
And I bounced it a little bit. Fortunately, it was just a little bounce, and it settled down real nice after that. So we're going to make sure this next one is a whole lot better. And I realized that we should probably add an item to the checklist. Securing the passenger seatbelt and making sure that the room for the Johnson bar is clear of any obstructions, because that time I was able to get through it, but the seatbelt was a little in my way. So there, we've got it buckled, no more problems. Make sure this is good and clear. Alright, so mixture's rich, fuel pump's back on, got our flaps back in. Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniforms departing 7, Sparta. And we're going to go around again. That was a better gear actuation right there. We're going to pitch for about 100.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 80841 is entering left downwind on a 45 for runway 7. I have departing traffic in sight.
Alright, this time we're actually going to pull the power back to about 25 and 25. We've got somebody downwind, so we're going to give them some space. And we'll get the flaps out of it. We're 500 feet up. Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniform. It's going to stay in the pattern. I've got the Cessna in sight, Sparta. So we're just going to climb up to pattern altitude. He's on downwind right now. Make sure we give him some space. No big deal to extend right now. We're just going to keep it nice and slow. Sparta traffic, 26708 uniforms, left crosswind, 7 Sparta. Just keep it about 17 and a half, 18 inches, 2,500 RPM. Maintain our 1,800 foot pattern, about 115 miles an hour. No reason to be in a hurry.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 8041 is turning left base for runway 7, Sparta.
And Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniform, so long downwind 7 Sparta.
Gallagher traffic, Skyhawk 82 Golf, departing to the southwest.
So we're just going to go through our normal rhythms. I'm not sure what the Cessna in front of us, what his plan is, if he's coming in and doing a full stop or not, but again, we're just cruising pattern altitude right now.
Sparta traffic, Cessna 8041 turning final runway 7 for a touch and go, Sparta.
He's on final and he's going to touch and go, so we got plenty of room.
Lake Trip is 893 for call. And on downwind runway 10, Lake tonight, take off out of Mantle Pass. Right? Yeah.
On a quick to 12287.
87.
Okay. So we've had the carb heat out this whole time just because it's we're at a lower power setting. Don't need to take that out now. And we're below our gear speed, so we'll get to midfield here and we'll put the gear down. There's midfield, gears coming down. In and locked, indicating. Then we're going to slow it down to probably about 11 inches. Get down below our flap speed. Get 2 pumps in. Every time you put flaps in this thing, you have to trim up. It wants to send the nose down for sure. We've got some good visual references. Of course, I've flown out of Sparta quite a while, so we've been picking a couple good references and know when to make our base. Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniforms, base 7 Sparta. And about 90 miles an hour on base. We're going to try and make that turn, actually make it straight on this time.
Greenville traffic, Warrior 60 Echo, 3 miles south of field, 2500 westbound, Greenville.
And Sparta traffic, Mooney 6708 uniforms, final 7 Sparta, plan and touch and go. Alright, on final, gears down, gas is on fullest tank, pumps on, props full.
Cessna 841 is downwind for runway 7, have traffic on final in sight.
$80 miles an hour. No wind today. Just hold it off. Hold it off. Get the power out of it. Just hold it off. And we're not going to go again. I guess my touch and go confidence isn't quite there yet. It felt good to get out here and knock some rust off. First one wasn't so good. I probably didn't think through it as much as I could have or plan for it as much as I could have. There is no doubt that properly planning and thinking through what you're going to do before you do it
Sparta traffic, Warrior 60 Echo over midfield, turning left downwind for 7, Sparta.
is just a recipe for success. So I'll think about that next time. I'll get a little bit smarter, do a little bit more planning, come out and do it again. Thanks again for joining us. Again, if you feel inclined, please hit that subscribe button. I'm going to make a lot more videos like this. We hope to have a work trip coming up in a couple of weeks where I get to utilize the Mooney to shave about 6 hours off of a trip. That sounds pretty awesome to me. I really just appreciate you coming along for the journey. Thanks again. This was my time to fly. I sure hope you can find yours.